Like and subscribe within the next 10 seconds if you want good luck for the next 10 years.
Time for game number 3. The players are all loaded up in the battle bus, and we are about to take off. Let's see who's going to get that much closer to raising the trophy and being your Fortnite World Champions of Duos. Here we go.
Hey, Fortnite Focus fans. Want more V-Buck giveaways? Make sure to use code COOL in the item shop, and we'll continue to give out redemption codes just like this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out.
Keep it going, Golden Boy, because we are jumping into game 3 as these cameras populate. Your favorite competitors are here. They've made it this far. It's the duo competition. If you were nervous before, hopefully they kicked the bucket over this little break here, and they're back, and they're recuperating.
I know I practically kicked the bucket after Vinny and Zexro won game 2, man. I was feeling it, man. It was nuts. And there they are on your screen. So the drop for the bus here, it's going to be a north to south one going right over that ice biome. It's going to cut pretty much center of the map there. And Vinny and Zexro, I'm very happy that they're performing this well, Monster. This is a duo that had so much success. Even going into the World Cup qualifiers, we all were like, yeah, this is a duo that definitely should make it. This is a duo that, hey, they could even win the whole thing.
Yeah.
Then tragedy struck as Zexro had a few problems with you know, arthritis and different things with his hands. And I'm gonna make sure I'm getting that right. And I'm just bummed out about that. Good to see them here showing up, man. That's huge.
I mean, that's what you expect of our competitive veterans, specifically Zexro, Vinny. They go back to as many of the LAN tournaments that we've seen, as does Zayt and Sap. But anyways, in here we have UN KBB. He's going to take down Mexi. Is Scram close by? Is he close enough? And this is a battle going down in Snobby Shores. So off the rip here, we have players getting dropped. That's actually going to be our first elimination. Lucky for us to catch that one. But there's shots coming in from the Viking Island right up above. And he just kind of turns a corner, sweeps him up, catches that full elim there. So that's his now. Got a little toe-to-toe action here, Golden Boy.
Very rough situation to be in here, but Zexro now looking to engage in this one. Potentially here is going to have... We're going to go over to his POV now. Kind of get, it's a little wild, man. It's like just getting the bearings all together here, I think, for the players as well. That moment where they can just have that conversation. What are they going to do? How are they going to just implement their strategy going into the next game? What is that strategy going to be? Do you mix it up? Do you change your drop spots? These are things that are going to be so important for these players. The time that they can take to just communicate with one another. Now, Scram looking to be potentially in a world of hurt here. We heard from Nyx, PFZin earlier on. This is the Brazilian duo. I don't think they know that. Yes, Scram, they're going to be on the hunt for him. So they know that he's around here. They're just trying to sniff him out.
Yeah, and if you were in the players' lounge, you could feel the tension, specifically when we brought up the Brazilian duos, the Brazilian players. These guys qualified, and they qualified with heavy elimination. Nyx especially being one of our only players to like literally qualify as hard as you can in the, you know, for the weekend.
He was at it each and every week. You constantly saw him at the top every single time. It was so impressive, and also qualified for solo, so we'll be seeing Nyx tomorrow. And then you got Scram. He's got 2 eliminations, but he's just hiding this one out. He hears them making all that ruckus, all the noise around him, and Scram just does not want to give up his position. Perhaps he grabbed his teammate's reboot card. He's maybe looking for that play. But Nyx and PFZin, they have to have an idea of where he's going to be located here.
Yeah, he does not want to give up his position here. He's actually just hiding in the basement right now, hoping that these guys just kind of blow by like dust in the wind right here. As Nyx and PFZin, they think it's clear. They think it's all good because they came in and they just wrapped up one of the other players. They actually didn't initiate the battle against Mexi and Scram here. So Scram might just get lucky and be able to kind of sneak on by as he hears this powerhouse duo, this Brazilian duo, kind of loot their way through and make their way to the zone soon.
And loot they definitely will, because they're getting a lot of resources out of this. Scram over in the distance. He's going to be out of there, but now we're making our way over to the action. It's happening with 7SSK7. Got Spades and Crimmed. Now looking to push on for this fight here, potentially. Got some shots going off. Crimmed is going to play that overlook position. Getting challenged there and trying to use that advantage from the download, a little bit of that right hand, right? Just see if he can get a peek in there. Does get tagged up, Crimmed. Guy does back away there, does manage to build out. And Spades is gonna Force him out. There you go. So they're just right now playing for that positioning, and I like the fact that they're using these, the natural high grounds, right? Get to the top, hold it down. Don't really focus too much on just trying to get in their face quite yet. Give yourself that moment of opportunity and really get a lay of the land, and then going for the engagement.
Yeah, absolutely. The best duos will try their best to isolate their opponents, really force them into, very weird situations like this, force the 1v1s, and hopefully get those free shots, and then pursue the push here. So again, look at how now they're split up again. So FaZe and Crims are doing a great job here, pressuring and isolating their opponents right now. And so far, they're definitely dictating the pace of battle here.
Yeah,
that's what they want to continue to do.
They're suffocating them. Plain and simple, right? Not let them get any kind of movement there. I mean, Jam side in 7SSK7, they're having a conversation of what the play is. What is the movement going to be? But Crims and FaZe are not going to allow them that opportunity to breathe. That's going to be the down there. Crims managing to knock down Jam side. He's looking for 7SSK7 around the corner, and that's going to be the elimination registered. Both players are going to be out of there. And a big win there for Crimson Spades.
What a clean push right there. Crimson Spades have so much to prove here, because when they qualified, they were kind of looked down on, like, wait a second, was it luck? Was it not? No, they're here to show it off and show why they're at the World Cup Finals. But now, hopping back with Miz and Daedra, we saw them have a great game one, came out top 10, and they're still in the running. They're in about the top 10 right now as well, based off of eliminations. Not necessarily picking up too many placement points. They're heavily dependent on just piping up these players at these points of interest, and looks like Lucky Landers is theirs right now.
And they'll have that, but let's see. Miz and Daedra. They linger about it. I love the fact that you go to this hot spot here, so there is going to be a bunch of free items that you're going to be able to pick up on. Also, you're going to have that circle advantage. It's right there. So you don't got to worry too much. You can continue to focus on looting. High ground has been lost, though. Miz needs to be careful. Where's Daedra at? He's going to be right next to him, trying to get these angles.
So what they have to do, they have to stick together. Looking for the sound cues right here. Can they find their opponent, catch a nice little low ground peek right here? Low ground is definitely underrated. If you can just kind of peek out, catch a big shot, you're almost guaranteed a headshot, which is a big multiplier.
Yeah, players don't really think about that, right? Like you always see Fortnite players go after the high ground. That's the bread and butter for a lot of players that play this game. But you know better than most that the low ground can pay dividends for you if you know how to take advantage of that positioning, and maybe some overzealous players to try and get aggressive on you. You got Gustavo along with Wishy.
I'm actually very interested to see if Gustavo's going to lead this push here, because specifically between these two players right here, this duo, this Brazilian duo, Gustavo doesn't necessarily lead the pushes. It's Wishy. Wishy's the aggressive one here. So he has the ultimate high. He's always looking for the shot. What are they going to do? It's just a nice standoff.
Yeah, and that's this whole event, right? Players have just been very cautious about what they want to do. They are not trying to get too aggressive in these fights. They know what's on the line here. Millions in prizing is on the line. You do not want to make a bad decision. Be one of those teams that are eliminated out early on, but Gustavo's going to be putting shots down. Focusing this player, forcing him to actually build up. He has no builds to work with as well. 19 HP remaining, and just a hope and a prayer, but unfortunately for him, that was not going to be enough there. Gustavo's out. Wishy isn't going to happen for him either. And Miz, he's feeling it. That's going to be 2 elims for this duo.
You gotta love the snarky little smirk right there on his face when you get those 2 points.
Smirky.
Feels so good.
It's really good. It feels really good. And then Volks and Parpy. And look at this. Parpy actually dealing with this battle. And this other player that actually got the high ground against him was focus firing on Volks. Parpy pushing back here. I wonder, you get split up like this, but Volks and Parpy, they love playing a very aggressive style. They'll get in your face. They'll box you out if they need to.
Yeah, without a doubt, this duo was unmatched when it came down to eliminations in the qualifying rounds. They had the most, actually, and even pulled off a consecutive 5 victories in 8 games to qualify for one of the weekends. Volks and Parpy, another kind of reference to game 1. They had a great game 1. We saw them picking up duos, but we haven't seen them necessarily make it through the end game. All they have to do is kind of slow it down here, and that's what they're trying to do, but being split up is terrible.
Also, in the distance, I just want to make note, Wolfie's a very aggro controller player. He's another one. I think that we've seen a fun mixture of players that look to get that safe approach to the game, and then others that just want to take early fights, get some points early on, because maybe they're playing that early game strategy rather than like focusing so hard. Like if you get late game, that's great, but you do want to rack up a few eliminations. Look how low the points are that have been thus far in games 1 and 2. Get yourself a few elims and then maybe manage to make it to that top 15, which is very hard given how many players have stayed alive in this game. Games 1 and 2, we were at what, circle 5? Yeah, circle 5, I think. We were sitting at like 45, 46 players. They're just waiting for movement.
Yeah, and that's where that storm surge kicks in, right? Does damage to players. That's feeling back. Crew and Chapels, one of my picks to watch. Have sort of been struggling in the format so far. I guess when the real pressure's on, you know, the environment shifts, right? Everything changes.
That's right. That's right. Everything changes here, and Crew does manage to get that shot off, or attempted to, with that tactical shotgun. It was not going to get the connection necessary there, but it did put the fear in the player to have to back away. Both players as well respecting the space from one another. The stinkers come out. Crew and Chapix having to get out of there, and they're going to use those, I believe, the shockwave nades to just fly on out of there. Didn't see the purple over their bodies there, but they were able to fly on out of that fight. Could have gotten real risky for them.
I was going to say, that was a respectful disengage. You only got 6 games here, 2 of which have happened.
Yeah, that's
they
right.
need big performances. They have to push towards placement and end game. So good on them to kind of back up, man. When you have stinkers, there's no defense against it. You get chunked down right through your builds. It really is annoying to go against. And speaking about the stinkers here, Epic Whale's under pressure right now, and that's just going to chunk him down. They force him off of the campfire, and we'll see if he returns to it. Yep, here you go.
Yeah, you're only going to get so much time with that campfire. Epic Whale, along with 40R Storm. This is a Week 10 qualified duo. Last moment you could possibly have it happen, and they managed to pull it off. Maybe this could be the game for them. Another dominating duo in the scene, Airwalks and Nikov. Airwalks winning the Pro-Am yesterday 2 times now. This is a whole new ball game. Best players in the world in this lobby. It's not going to be a cakewalk, and he knows that. It hasn't been the best run thus far for Airwalks and Nikov.
Yeah, and it was their last final games there. Notice the text right there. The fast track, Airwalks and Nikov qualified for the Fortnite World Cup in their final 7 games. That's intense. They were struggling so close on the cusp every single weekend, so close to qualifying. If it was 5 placements, they were 6 or so like that. It was that close for them. But jumping in here, Crew is going to put some pressure down, and it looks like his teammate has been traded out as well. He's already gone.
Also going to see some eliminations over in the feed as well. You got Crew who just cleaned up on Volks, but Septic took out X-Mend. And then I think I saw XXM pop up there on the receiving end of a shot there, so we'll be out of the action as well. Crew by himself has 1 elimination. Going to be looking to get as many points as possible. Now we're going to be sitting with 40 duos left alive. We're going into the next circle here in just a little bit. It's going to start to collapse. Salty Springs is going to be the point of interest for all of our players here. Got a lot of bodies that are going to be lingering outside. Some that are even as far out as Dusty Divot, like on the northern end of it, sticking around there. So maybe trying to get some last-minute loot, perhaps. We'll have to see.
Here is Parpy looking for that peak. Volks and Parpy always tend to stay together, but wait a second, that was a tricky little shockwave right there. He did try to sneak his way into the build. He takes the wall. What are you going to do with it? Crew's still looking for the replacement here. He gets it on land, takes the wall. 184! Crew's excitement, you can feel it from here. That was a huge shot. With the new tactical shotgun, the legendary.
That's right. When you're feeling it, man. He went right for the fight. Ambitious, the young player there from Sweden, 15 years of age, man, and he's playing for millions of dollars. So many of these players, they're just young ones. We have a lot of young fans here in the arena today. Maybe next year this could be them. And then you got a few of the veterans. Zexro, Vinny, saw Nate Hill, as well as Funk Mongrel, Mitro, Aiden there in the corner of the screen. And back over to our game 2 winners, Zexro and Vinny. No eliminations to their name thus far. I mentioned Wolfie's the aggro controller player. He went right for Nyx and just take him out on that one.
Yeah, I definitely want to see Wolfie hopefully catch some more highlights before the weekend's over. Touch base with him. He's a great kid, definitely enthusiastic about being here at the World Cup, and he feels totally prepared. He's ready to represent. He's one of the few controller players to actually qualify for this weekend. It's a big weekend for a lot of players, obviously, clearly. Here you have Cease and Elevate. They haven't found the rhythm.
They've been a little quiet, man. They won WSOE, a great duo that has had success in the past, but this has just not been their game so far. Got to get something to turn it around. The talent is certainly there. I think I saw someone on the Fortnite competitive Reddit mention, why is no one talking about Cease and Elevate? And I think it's just important to note that in order for us to talk about it, they got to start doing some things. And I think games 1 and 2 has not been their game. Yeah, and I mean, we were there in the warm-up rounds. A lot of players were not necessarily revealing strategy, but whoa, that's a huge shot on Ziff right there as Mitro sends one flying down the field right there. Sent him packing. Dear me. All right, so back into the action at hand. We're gonna have 36 duos left in this. Notable names, obviously, Mega and Dubs. Benji Fishy, Mr. Savage. A lot of people in the crowd popped for Benji Fishy when he walked out, as well as Mr. Savage. For due reason, this is a stupendous duo. The double snipe combination from Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage.
Big shot right there. These double snipes, you gotta be careful. There's no standing still in a box here because you might eat one right there. They line up another.
That's right.
Not quite successful that time around, but hey, all damage matters. Storm Surge, you want to be dealing damage. You cannot stay idle. There are no free passes at the World Cup.
Look what happened in game 1, man. The Storm Surge claimed a lot of victims. You have to be engaging in fights. You cannot stay still. There's Fwexy and Letwick on the move. Nyrox right behind him from the Cooler organization. Benji Fishy's going to be down. Just saw that one off on the side. Mr. Savage now having to deal with a player that had engaged on him. He's going to get built above. He just needs to wait this one out here, but Benji does get cleaned up. Yeah, that was going to be Fwexy.
And that was such a sneaky ambush right there. He used the shadow bomb, pushed up. Notice Benji was kind of over-peeking, harassing players with that sniper. You cannot hold down scope right there. He ate a shotgun to the face, and that's why Benji goes down. And I love what Savage did here. He just went for high ground. He had to immediately get out of there and leave his duo behind. So what can Mr. Savage do? One of the best mechanical players here today. What can he do by himself?
It's not going to be easy. Not with a lobby like this. At this point in time, he's really just looking to play the keep away game. Maybe he can pick off a player with that heavy sniper, get an elimination for himself. They only have 1 point right now, and they're nowhere near getting the placement points currently. But he's still looking to harass some players. Put some pressure on them. Now you see that half in, half out circle. Only 2 duos are going to be inside of there. So everyone's going to have to start to move over to that east side. It's going to be a struggle for so many players. They're starting to make the moves right now. They want to try and gatekeep, prevent these players from getting inside.
This is a team we want to watch right now during this rotation. Mongrel and Mitro, they are masters at executing, especially when they have mobility like this to cut across the field. They are on the hunt right now, and there's no reason for them to rush. Once they spot out someone, they're gonna pounce. They're gonna jump on that target.
Yeah, they're gonna wait for you to make that mistake. And with the nerves at an all-time high here, players are certainly gonna make that error in judgment. Saw it happen in scrims when we were looking at players just getting warmed up. So much at stake here, but there's the launch pad. It's going to go out now. Need to be wary of just getting beamed in the sky. So many times you think that you're just going to be sailing away with no problem, not a care in the world, and then you just end up losing all of your shields, all of your HP, and then that's it. You're done.
I've seen it countless number of times. People tweet out, you know, you fly across, you get taken out the sky, but it's all about timing. Neither Mitro nor Mongrel was shot once on that rotation, and it was masterfully done right there. And whoa, it looks like they're tracking so beautifully. Catches someone trying to just kind of rotate on by in a shadow bomb, but that was not enough.
You are not safe from the shadows there, buddy. Another thing, too, was that when they were out of position for a brief moment, the way that they were able to just get back together, right? That patience with one another, the communication, you need to have it when you're getting down to these final moments. 25 duos are going to still be standing here. You got Calculator and Macwood. They're going to have that high ground up above. You shouldn't be comfortable just yet, because anything can happen here. Look at where that next circle is going to be going. Moves need to be made.
With that RPG, I mean, they can basically take high ground at any given moment that they want nor choose. Calculator looking around, already on 4 eliminations for Macwood. Macwood did say he's the fragger of the duo. We'll see if Calculator can keep up right now. I am just poking good fun because Calculator loves to talk a big game on the social medias.
He really does, man. He's a character without a doubt. But right now, there's no fun and games to be had. This is game 3 of the Fortnite World Cup Finals. It's time to put up or shut up for a lot of these players.
Look at that, wasting no extra mats. They do not waste more than they have to.
This was earlier on. An elimination onto Mongrel and Mitra. There you have it. Out of the game once again. That duo, European powerhouse, gonna pay there to Dubs and Mega.
So far, so good. Macwood again just holding this positioning right here. He is gonna get blocked out of his teammate accidentally, but it's all good. This is still his ground to control right now. They have clear control of the skies here.
And they have a ton of builds to work with as well, Monster. 4 eliminations for Macwood. A great game for him thus far. That's 4 points for this duo, but he's going to be taking some shots. Has to be careful there. There you can see the lay of the land, Monster.
Yes, the placement thresholds will be divvied out soon. There goes the Storm Surge already ringing down on players. Jay has to make a big move. Doesn't matter. Zate is going to wrap up right here as Keys goes down as well. And the shots are flying. And you can just look at the overhead, the chaos that's going on in the mid-ground specifically.
And look who's still in this, Saf. They're going to be in first place. If they keep this going, another dominant game for them, another high-placing game could be the difference maker to keep them in that first place position. Up on the high ground, Calculator and Macwood putting down shots yet again, not giving players any moment to be comfortable whatsoever. Look at the names that are here, though. The Rockets now starting to fly by Wolfies. Wolfies having to defend himself. Zate's going to be out of this one, so now it's going to be up to Saf. And Saf, he had to see his teammate go down, but his back's going to be to the Storm there. Now looking at Mega, who's waiting this one out. He knows on the right side of your screen, you can see it down low, that these players, they're going to try and force their way into his box, so he has to play defense. He has to disengage. And there's Saf, who just lost his teammate Zafe. Now he's going to be running this one solo. And then up above, it's Macwood and Calculator. This whole time, they picked up 3 eliminations from that whole exchange, Monster.
That's exactly where you want to be. They're still putting this pressure down. And Zaf is looking for one, but it's Vinny who's going to take him out right there. So Vinny's going to find his first elimination, and he has so much health. He is in the game right now, although by himself because Zexro is down. And now Oslo, Bad Sniper, one of the few duos that are still left in this game right here. Arkham somehow, with a masterful rotation, he's still in as well. Bad Snipers at 11 eliminations with Oslo here.
Wow, unreal stuff. Bad Sniper is going to be out of this one. Macwood and Calculator still owning the high ground on the mid. Down below, Dubs and Mega, one of the premier duos here at the Fortnite World Cup Finals. Could they get the high ground and wrestle the control away from Calculator and Macwood? Oslo waiting for Vinny. You can see that engagement down low, but we got to focus on what's going on above here because Macwood and Calculator, they have their eyes on Dubs and Mega, and they do not want to give them that freedom to dictate where they want to go. They want to try and pinch them. Arkram just eliminated Vinny on that, and it's going to be Oslo and Arkram down low, but you're going to have a clash, a 2v2 in the high and in the mid ground, and Dubs and Mega feeling that pressure, needing to just dial back here, wait a minute, because I think what they're doing is they're just trying to see if they're going to run out of builds potentially. I mean, the play here certainly has just been defense, defense, defense.
Yes, that's right. Oslo's now left by himself. All he has to do is time this firefight, so long as he doesn't bother them. But Dubs and Mega try to go for the high ground and make a fatal error. They fall to the low here, Golden Boy.
This isn't looking good there. Mega and Dubs, they have the low ground, the ultimate low ground. Oslo's going to be outside, but they get the elimination. Calculator and Macwood, they're holding the high ground, and that's the victory royale. Macwood pops off in game 3. 7 eliminations for him, 2 for Calculator, 9 total, plus the victory royale. 19 points for that duo. Crushed it.
There was just something about the loadout. Seeing that RPG once they already were holding the best point, the high ground. You just knew pressure, and that's what Macwood did there. What was it, 7 eliminations? Hey, shout out to Calculator too. He got a couple at the end.
Yeah, he had his back. Most importantly, Dubs and Mega constantly playing that defense,
credit to Macwood and Calculator for the way that they continue to apply the pressure. And then it was the shock, sending them down low, forcing them into that engagement. Credit to Oslo now, who took traps instantly to see maybe he can get a cheeky trap elimination. Didn't work out for him there, but a top 3 placing for him. Certainly got to be happy with that one. And then it came down to the final moment when Calculator and Macwood together were able to push his player with their combat shotties. Boom, that's the game. And look how happy they were there.
So good. Gotta love their reactions right there.
Whew. What a game that was.